And so guys, after going through so much hassle trying to get this thing sorted, I didn't even know how to screen share on this. So alhamdulillah that got sorted. So let's actually start the video.
ومن الذي نسأل وأنت صاحب الكرم والجود.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope everyone's doing well. If you guys are new here, it's Insha, first year medical student at Queen Mary University of London. Now that being said, you guys know I am trying to pay for that of the uni fee. So it is a mad struggle. And a lot of you guys are saying that Ali Abdal, you're trying to compare your lifestyle to Ali Abdal. And as a student, that's not going to be possible. So inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to give my 2 cents behind the video. How much do I make, or how much do I spend a day when he's 25? And I know this video is like 2 years old. So do forgive me. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, yeah, I got 3 books out there, and alhamdulillah it's benefited so much people, so you guys can check it out on the side. Remember, the first book is that of the job that I'm doing and the pay that I'm getting, how to break down that of the student loan, they don't end up taking it. The second book is that of which comes down to like calligraphy and how to sort of market a digital product or a physical good, whether that comes to the website and so on and so forth. You guys can check it. And the third book, which I've said for so long, I'm gonna bring it out. Wallah, I'm so sorry. In terms of the Telegram link, I still haven't sent it. Some of the jobs were actually real good job, so do forgive me, but nonetheless, inshallah ta'ala, let's get started with today's video. But before that, you gotta smash the like button because I need that smashing. I need to smash it, smash, get the money in my pockets and I can get married. But nonetheless, inshallah, let's actually get started. Today's video.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the money that I spent in a standard week. So I'll be taking you through my daily expenditure at work and on food and everything. And then we'll talk about all of my bills, how much I pay for the mortgage, how much I pay for all the various apps on my phone and my Mac and my iPad and all that stuff. I'll be breaking it down step by step and hopefully coming to a conclusion as to how much money I'm spending each week for whatever that's worth. I'll be honest, this is kind of a ridiculous video to make. Like, why would anyone at all be interested in how much money I spend in a week? But to be honest, over the last few months, I've actually watched a lot of other YouTubers break down their weekly expenditures. So I thought, you know, if I enjoy sitting on my computer and watching other people talk about how much money they spend, maybe other people would like to do the same for me. Anyway, timestamps and stuff in the video description and in a pinned comment, so you can skip around to whichever bit of this video most interests you. But now, let's just get started. So our journey kicks off last Monday, where I didn't have any patients to see in the morning, and therefore I treated myself to breakfast at work. And I got myself a croissant, jam, vegan sausage roll, ketchup and a latte, all for the cost of £4.10. Then after doing a bit of work, seeing some patients, saving some lives, I got lunch at the hospital canteen as well. And that was a vegetable lasagna with extra mixed veg and a portion of Brussels sprouts for £4.15. At 5 PM,
So that's where I'm gonna start, and I'm sort of gonna stop as well. The reason why I'm not really for that at the moment is that as a student, if you spent £10 right at the beginning of the day, and bearing in mind no snacks, no travel costs, no nothing, as a student, and obviously this guy's a doctor, so it's gonna be a little bit different. It's a little bit mad, but okay, let's just carry on. I don't want to keep stopping and starting. But
I wanted a snack just before heading to the gym, and therefore I got a cheese and tomato toasted panini from the restaurant for the cost of £2.45.
But to be fair as well, the prices they're good prices. For veggie lasagna, mixed veg and Brussels sprouts for £4, wallah, that's quite techie. The croissant, jam, sausage, I don't know if that's necessarily worth it, but cheese, tomato, toasted panini, let's carry on.
And then after work, I went to the gym, had a cheeky spa session, and then ended up having dinner at the gym. And I got this salmon grill with sweet potato mash and some veg, maybe spinach or kale or something like that on the side, and that was £10.25. That evening, I had a singing lesson from 8:45 until 9:30.
That's where the money's going. Why is he doing this? But nonetheless, singing this, I think that's overkill. But let's just see what it totals up to.
£50. And overall, I did about 76 miles of driving to and from work that day, and at a cost of around 132p per litre of diesel, and my car does about 45
£50
miles per
already
gallon.
in the day.
That is a cost of £10.17. Therefore, on Monday, my total expenditure was £61.12. Is this fun? Shall we keep continuing? Why not? So, next we've got Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I got a medium latte from Starbucks on my way to work, and that was £3.55. That kept me full, so I didn't need to buy breakfast at work, but I ended up having lunch at work. And I got a very healthy tuna and cheese melt toasty with chips and 2 sachets of ketchup.
As a doctor, he's looking after his coronary arteries. That's what we can see. He's taking care of his health. That's good to see.
For £4.20. While I was eating my lunch peacefully in the doctor's office, one of my colleagues made some disparaging remarks about my lack of healthy eating, and so encouraged me to buy this book from Amazon, which I bought there and then because I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier and I thought this was a good way to do it. And that was £11.68. Later that day, I realized that I didn't actually bring my iPad charger with me, so I had to go down to the hospital like grocery store and buy like a USB-C charging cable for £12.99. Absolute rip-off, but it had to be done. And later that day, I noticed that my lips were...
It's a lovely plug. It's Finest Techs, hopefully my boy's business. 2 plugs that are really, really good for like £5. You guys can just hook them up.
Getting very dry, and so I messaged my brother asking what lip balm I should get, and he recommended Burt's Bees. So again, on Amazon Prime, I just bought 2 of these, and these were £2.99 each. On the way home, I stopped off at a grocery store to meet up with a fan from America and his friend, and I bought all of us coffee, so that was £6.90. And then after playing badminton at the local badminton club, I stopped off at the same grocery store, Sainsbury's, and bought £14.36 worth of groceries, which included a ready meal that I could have for dinner that evening. And again, there was about 80 miles of driving, so that's about £11 of fuel. So overall, on Tuesday, I spent a total of £70.66.
But trust me, quite literally, wallahi, it's a little bit too much. £70 on one day. My guy's making, maybe from his job, 80, 90 take home after tax. And for him to spend 70, you're living so that you can pay what you're doing in that day. And where's the savings coming from? This guy's loaded, wallahi. Trust me.
Which for the Americans or international people amongst us is about $93.30. On Wednesday, again, I got a Starbucks.
That's how he's wasting his money, the coffee.
And that was
It's a drug, wallahi.
I didn't need to spend any
Somali
money
mums
on
are dying on
breakfast
this
or
one.
lunch because we had this special simulation training day at the hospital and lunch was provided, which was fantastic. But in light of that, on the way home, I got another Starbucks small latte for £3.15. And that evening, I treated myself to a takeaway from GBK. This was the Camembert and Cranberry Chicken Burger for £11.20. And I bought a side of...
He's eating on his bed. Get out of here, man. That's mank, wallahi. Is that his bed, huh? That looks like a wash machine, wallahi. Oh, it's a light, sorry. That being said, wallahi, that's very, very mank. I wouldn't advise that at all. But the burger is quite overpriced as well. I think it's just me speaking as a student, but for the majority of students who are either gonna be on that or the student loan or are working to pay off everything, this lifestyle is not a lifestyle you can live. Wallahi, it's crazy. It's not even healthy as well, but yeah.
Bites, which was £4.20. Again, about £10.17 fuel costs to and from work, and that day we had a cleaner who comes in once a fortnight, and so overall the cost for me, because I split it with my housemate, was £12. So overall on Wednesday I spent £43.87, which is $57.91. On Thursday for breakfast I actually had some huel, which is really tasty and is about £3 per meal. And then because it was a day off work, I got another takeaway for lunch. So this was another Camembert and Cranberry Burger from GBK for £11.20. I didn't get any sides this time.
They're about 20 per burger.
At one of the Cambridge colleges.
Yeah.
So I bought some snacks for my students en route to the supervision, and that was £8.07 worth of snacks. And in total that day I drove around 14.6 miles to get to this college and back again. So that was £1.92 worth of fuel, which brings us to a total for Thursday for £24.19, which is apparently $31.94.
That's reasonable.
On Friday, I bought myself a Starbucks oat milk latte, small latte on the way to work for £3.15. As my mid-morning snack, I got a croissant with jam from the hospital restaurant for £1.90. It's a Friday, and so I got fish and chips from the, again, hospital restaurant, which is fantastic, for £5.50. And then me and my brother...
That's one thing as well, especially in East London. People trade their health with food like that. It's better that you meal prep. My cousin... I'll show you, he's called a Swole Arab, may Allah bless him in that. In terms of his diet plan, it's not going to be too expensive as well, and they've got other brothers who are bulking like mad. So, you know, like I'm saying, Swole Arab is like, what, 6'1" and 220 pounds, so he's like 90 plus kg, or near 100. He's muscle, Allah back. But yeah, let's go around.
We're driving up to the Cotswolds, which is this like national park in the UK, to spend the weekend with some friends. And so that evening I got a vegan burger from KFC for £5.89. And from WH Smith we had to get some batteries so that we could record a podcast in the car. If you don't know, me and my brother have a weekly podcast called Not Overthinking. You should definitely check it out, link in the video description. Anyway, the batteries for that cost £4.99. In total, we ended up driving 135 miles, and that's a fuel cost of £18.04. And the Airbnb cottage that we got was about £24.50 per person per night, so let's add that on, bringing us to a total for Friday of £63.97, which is $84.46. Then we've got the weekend. So on Saturday morning, we went out for breakfast in some nice, like, hipster-looking cafe in this, like, nearby this fancy...
And literally, I need to give this guy respect because the way that he's listed everything on the side, as well as, like, the way he's speaking, narrating, wallah, is actually pretty techy, but... you know.
Cottage that we were living in. Breakfast was pretty good. I got myself this hash, potato, avocado, tomato, egg.
That's the sort of food I'm talking about.
Earl Grey tea for
I'd pay serious money for that.
We kind of skipped lunch because we had breakfast quite late, but then we got some afternoon tea at the same cafe, and I got myself a chai latte plus some toast and butter and jam, and that was for a cost of £4.60. For dinner, we went out to another restaurant.
Butter and jam for £4.60. Get out of it.
Restaurant had seafood stew, calamari starters, a lime and lemon drink thing, and a chocolate brownie for £30 in total. And again, the Airbnb was £24.50, bringing us to a total for Saturday of £69.10 or $91.24. And finally on Sunday for breakfast, we went out to this other cafe. I got a veggie bank robber meal for £7.95. I got some extra halloumi on the side for £1.50 and a 12-ounce latte for £2.80, bringing the total cost of breakfast to £12.25. For lunch, we were driving home, so I got a £3.99 vegan burger from KFC. I didn't get chips this time because I thought I was going to be healthy. For dinner, we had rice and aloo gosht made by my mum, which was very nice of her, but obviously that cost me nothing, so I'm not going to include the cost of dinner. But it was in total another 135 miles of driving, so that's £18.04 cost of fuel, which brings...
And I can't even lie, wallahi, if I didn't know who he was, I would have assumed that he's from a rich family because of the glasses and the way he's speaking, and he's saying that he's at Cambridge and all that sort of stuff. It would give me an assumption that this isn't the sort of video that a person should take inspiration from, especially if you're at a constricted budget and you're trying to raise money as it is. The reason why I'm saying this as well, for the people that don't know, I work in construction and I work, alhamdulillah, some other jobs as well. That being said, there's a reason why I wouldn't nowhere near be paying crazy food like this. Like maybe for the weekly budget, in terms of, because you're going to be eating at home as well for like dinner, breakfast, lunch and a midday proper food, we can look at like £60 all those days, like together, collective £60, so like £10 per day. That's more realistic than spending primarily on food like £50 a day, which is, wallahi, that's a madness. And literally, he'll probably say that in the video as well. Let's just carry.
A total of £34.28 or $45.26. So that was what I spend on a day-to-day basis, but I also want to talk about all my various other fixed costs, so like the mortgage, bills, broadband, council tax, all that kind of stuff, and also all of the money that I spend on apps. But before I do so, you might be wondering how I've got the money to afford these like ridiculous coffees and lunches and like trips and all this kind of stuff. Honestly, the main reason for that is that apart from my full-time job as a doctor, I also have various different online businesses that I've been building since like the age of 15. So when I was in secondary school, when I was like 12 years old, I taught myself how to code, and I've been building websites and kind of tried to make businesses sort of ever since. And those, towards the later half of my life, ended up getting more successful than I thought, and that ended up making me a lot of money. And if you're interested in maybe learning...
My guy's talking about serious money. Like he mentioned one of his videos that I saw that popped off. It was like, what, $1 million? He made $1 million, so don't be comparing yourself to him, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Doing that for yourself. One of the best sources I'd recommend for learning how to code is a fantastic website called Brilliant, who are kindly sponsoring this video.
You're not learning how to code on that, man. Let's be real. That's some Ben 10 software, man. Remove that. Okay, let's go around from here.
That I pay is about £1,250 per month, and then on top of
mortgage
that we've got
stuff. Wallah, don't put yourself in this problem, man, with mortgage. Wallahi, literally they'll repossess your house if you cannot pay the mortgage. And yes, there's a couple of months that they give you some leeway, but again, better for you to live in your means. If you can't afford the house, don't buy it. Wallahi, simple as that. You might be thinking in the long term, what about the sin that you'll get from it as it is? Use this money and do crazy stuff with it, like potentially if you want to do something like a waqf with your brothers, or send it three-way, buying up houses in other countries that are moving the money from those houses. Potentially, I'll give you like a case study that I know of. I know someone who bought like a house for close to like 50k, Allahumma barik, something like that. Then per month now they're getting like 400 something like that per month. So we're looking at a return on investment within like 12, 13 years, and that's pretty solid, and the house will increase in value. So inshallah, just do that with brothers, and that's just you trying to raise 50k first and foremost. If you've got brothers in 1 year, 3 brothers that you know, blood brothers are better, you can put 20k, smack it all together, get a nice house, and then you will be given back your money, and then you can buy another house with that profit, and then it will increase, and another house with that profit, and you can keep buying up houses, and then that's the way that between you brothers you'll be solid. But let's just carry on.
Your principal, it's going back into the value of the house, is going back into repaying the mortgage. And so in total, living in this house costs me £850 a month, but I don't really consider that an expense because it's actually paying off all of the principal of the mortgage. There's none of that money that's actually going down the drain on interest, ground rent and maintenance. So I'm not going to be including that as my weekly expenditure, but if I did, that would come to £212.50 per week. Next, we've got council tax, which is £90 per month, which is quite a lot, which comes out to £22.50 a week. We've got my gym membership, which I share with my housemate, and we pay £90 a month each for that. It's quite a fancy gym. It's got like a spa and stuff, and it's quite a lot to be spending on a gym, but I personally think it's totally worth it, and the way I justified it to myself was, you know, why wouldn't you value your health? And you know, being a member of a fancy gym encourages me to go to the gym more, and I think that's going to be worth it in the long run. But the gym costs £90 a month, which is again £22.50 a week. For broadband, for high-speed internet, which is 300 megabits per second download and 50 megabits per second upload, it costs £60 a month, so that's £15 a week. Electricity and gas I split evenly with my housemate, and for me that's £25 a month, so that's £6.25 per week. The water bill is about £15 a month, so £3.75 per week. My car insurance is unfortunately about £700 per year, which comes out to £13.46 a week. And on average over the last like 5 years, it cost me about £1,000 a year to like various maintenance costs of the car, like servicing and repairs and stuff. So £1,000 a year comes to £19.20 per week. So the total weekly cost of lifestyle maintenance is £102.66, or £315.16 if we're going to include mortgage/rent payments. And finally, let's talk about all of the different apps that I spend what I thought was a large amount of money on, but actually on like preparing this video and adding it all up, I realized it wasn't actually that much. So we've got 15 apps on this list. These are the ones that I can remember. I did a search on my computer. So first,
well, to be fair as well, he doesn't need to do that. He knows that himself. I think right now, because he's made a video where he's met his Valentine and something like that. Well, he don't need to, especially at the stage he's at. Man just puts his monthly earnings. Gold diggers will be chasing him. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go around.
Podcast, which is £17.99 a year or 35p per week. Then we've got Instapaper, £22.99 a year or 44p per week. We've got Bear, note-taking app, £13.99 a year. That's not too bad, 27p a week. We've got Hinge Premium, which is £27.49 for every 6 months, which comes out to £1.05 per week. And we've got Premium Membership, which is £15.99 a month or £4 a week. And of course, Spotify for £9.99
Adobe's the only one I can recommend.
Nearly there, we've got Evernote, which is £4.99 a month, and that's £1.25 a week. And of course, we've got Notion, which is one of my favorite productivity apps of all time, which is £4 a month or £1 a week. And we've got the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is £15.99 a month or £4 per week, and it's totally worth it. And then we've got my subscriptions to Skillshare, Brilliant, CuriosityStream, and a few other services that I subscribe to, but I can feasibly get away with calling those business expenses, so I'm not really going to talk about them in this video. And so the total cost of apps is £18.70 per week. And so adding all of that up, my daily expenditure, fuel, coffee, food, takeaways, all that kind of stuff, comes out this week to £367.19. And so the total amount of money I spent in this pretty standard week. I mean, yeah, I went
the reason why I'm saying this is
for the weekend, but I probably would have spent just as
he
much
doesn't
money
need to scrap
London.
for those £2-3 a day with a coffee, with decisions of that nature. It's a very, very different case with him, and he cannot be used to compare against us, because wallahi, the earnings that he has, he's made a whole video on it where he takes home $1 million a year nowadays. So this earning is, bro, that's a full salary, wallahi, just on what? Basically just about scraping it. And I think he might actually get paid less than what he's spending a week in terms of his NHS job. But then to be fair as well, he's a junior doctor. Junior doctors get a smaller salary. So 5-10 years time, he's probably earning like 5 times as much, bringing him up to 105 max cap NHS. But then with the NHS cap, there's times where you can work private, and you could top that up without a doubt. So I'm saying that as I'm a medical student, so don't be playing around with me. That being said, inshallah, let's just carry on.
$645, and if we're going to include the cost of mortgage or rent payments on top of that, then that's £701 a week, or $925 per week. Now, there's a few things in this that surprised me. Firstly, I was surprised at just how much it comes to in total. Like, even if we exclude the mortgage thing, £488.50 a week, that's basically £500 a week. And if there's 4 weeks in a month, it's about £2,000 a month that I'm spending just to survive with the sort of quality of life that I have. And the scary thing is that my post-tax income from being a doctor recently has been about £1,900 a month. And so I'm actually operating at a slight deficit. It turned out I was actually paying a slightly wrong amount of tax. I was paying slightly too much tax. And so now that that's corrected, I think I will just about break even, or possibly be able to save maybe £100 or £200, because I think overall my post-tax salary from being a doctor will be about £2,300, £2,200 a month. And I seem to be spending like £1,900 a month just on expenses.
He can feel a lot of pleasure eating, drinking, whatever he wants, because he doesn't have that accountability or that rent man or that bailiff knocking at the door. If he did, it'd be a very different story. May Allah bless him in his finances, 100%, and I'm not here trying to hate on him or anything like that. Wallah, I love him for the sake of Allah. If he's Muslim, may Allah bless him. But again, he does seem like a guy who has a lot of intellect, 100%. He went Cambridge, studied medicine, one of the hardest subjects in there to even get in. That being said, hats off to him fully. But just don't compare against him, you know what I'm saying? And it seems like I got so passionate, so I'm about to fight. So no, wallahi, literally, it's that I love. I'm just doing it because it would just put things into perspective for a lot of us, innit? Inshallah. But it's an amazing video though, nonetheless. Obviously, the only downside is that there was that background music. That was faint, but like you could tell a little bit. And so obviously that's I'm not saying it's permissible, but you know what I'm saying, inshallah, because it'll be at a faster pace when I'm doing it. I'll try to remove that. that's about it, boys and gentlemen. So, wallahi, sorry for the long, what do you call it, waffle and all that sort of stuff. But inshallah, today's video, it just puts things in perspective. I would say cut down massively on the unnecessary stuff and just save, because you'll be paying back so much more, and obviously the sin as well. It's not even about the money at the end of the day, it's the sin of riba, innit? For student loan. So inshallah, that's about it, man. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.